guys, and welcome to a new Coach Dave Academy Lab Guide. I'm Corentin Guinez, driver for Simmercy, and today we are on Watkins Glen for the week 2 of the Falcon Sports Car Challenge series. We are with the Porsche 718 GT4, and as usual, first we go with the hot lap, and then we talk together about the different details about the combo. So yep, let's get started. Alright guys, so we go for the lap around Watkins Glen. We are crossing the start finish line and then we are heading into the first corner. So basically for the T1, I'm pretty much braking at the 300 meter board, sorry. I think usually you tend to brake at the 200, but for some reason when I was trying to brake at the 200, it was just way too late. So yeah, in my opinion, just better to brake a bit early for this one, so then you can really have a good exit and then have the best momentum possible for the S's, and then until the bus stop, basically. Of course, you have the S's, but it's almost like a straight line. So if obviously you lose time on the exit of T1, then you will carry all that that time until the bus stop as you are heading into the bus stop full throttle. So yeah, as you can see, 300 meter board, and then going on the brake, EV braking zone at the beginning, and then when I'm getting close of the corner, just starting to release the brake until I'm reaching the apex, and then when I'm into the corner, just going back on power, as you can see, down to third gear. So EV on power, then just trying to open the steering quickly, just try to make sure I can use all of the curb on the exit. Main target is to keep at least 2 wheels on the curbs, because then if you just go off the curb with the 4 wheels, at least if you don't keep 2 of them, you will get the off track. So very important to make sure you can keep 2 wheels on the curb, and then pretty easy, just going through the gears, going through the S's. So as you can see, just getting the curb on the first one, getting curb on the second one, then going to the right, just trying to jot on the distance all the time, going to 6th gear, just waiting 232. Very important with the Porsche to go as high as you can on the revs. So as you can see, 232 for the 6th gear. Then for going up to 5th, you just wait. It's 192 or something, or 91. But yeah, main target is to make sure you are going as high as you can, but do not go too high, because of course, if you go too high and you hit the rev limiter, then you will lose time. So yeah, just very important with the Porsche. I don't know, I'm not sure if it's that important with the other ones, but with the Porsche it can make quite a lot of time if you don't really upshift at the right time. Then for the bus stop, just looking at the 300 board on the left, just with the Marshall actually, which is just in front of the board or just next to the board, but as you can see, close to the 300 board on the left, just releasing the throttle, going on the brake, trying to make sure I'm not going too deep on the brake because I wanna just find the rotation. I don't wanna brake heavily because I need to find the momentum as well. If I just brake with a lot of pressure, then I would just get into the ABS and then lose all of the rotation I need on the entry. So yeah, just make sure you're not going over at least 60%. I think I reached 55, so I think it's good enough. And as you can see, just trying to make sure I can get as close as I can from the guide rail on the right side. So as you can see, there is not much room left actually, so it's almost perfect, I would say. I'm not even sure if I'm going closer if I won't get any sort of contact. So I think it's more than decent. So once again, just going on the brake, trying to make sure I can bring the car as close as I can from the guide rail. And then as you can see, when I'm on the curb, just releasing the brake down to fourth gear. Then when I'm back on the ground, just going back on the brake for a short moment. Then once again, when I'm wait 1 second. Okay, so first curb, leaving the brake. Then when I'm back on the track, back on the brake, and then as you can see, when I'm getting close of going back on this curb, I'm once again releasing the brake, and then once I'm on the once I'm getting close of the end of the curve, at that time I'm going on power, trying to find the momentum again because of course the fact that I released the throttle from the 300 now, and at the same time I went on the brake. Of course, this means I lost quite a lot of speed, so I need to gain back some speed, and at the same time going on throttle now actually helps me to get the left one and at the same time the right one properly, because this gives me the rotation. So still with fourth gear, as you can see. Then just trying to be aggressive, but not too aggressive on throttle because it's really easy to lose a bit the control, I would say. And at the same time, I don't want to go too fast because of course the main target is not to overshoot the exit of the left one and end up into the grass, which is on the outside. So yeah, very important to, and if I put it full speed, to really manage the speed through the left one and through the right one. Otherwise, you will as well compromise the entry and the exit of this one, and then it will put you in a bad condition for the long right one, which comes after that. So yeah, very important to make sure you are keeping a great flow through this bus stop. No need to go too fast, but at the same time you have to keep a lot of momentum as well. Otherwise, you will lose quite some time. Then as you can see, getting the curb on the left, getting the curb on the right. Main target is to not get too much curb on the right because, of course, the Porsche is quite sensitive to all sort of curbs and bumps. So yeah, maybe with the other cars you can go a bit deeper on the right if you need. But yeah, most of the time, especially now with the 3D curbs, it makes it a bit more harder, I would say, with the curb. Back in the past, it was a bit more flattened, so it was not a big issue. But now, even if, to be honest, I think it's better now with the 3D curbs with the bus stop. But yeah, there is quite a few curbs around the track where it's a bit worse now. Like if you get the very edge of the curb, you will make quite a bounce and you will lose some time. But yeah. Then so through this right one, just get the curb. And as you can see, I'm not really going full power, like from the 300 to the beginning of the right hander. I'm never really going full power. That's, like I said, need to manage the flow. I need to go full power and then do on off. It's not necessary. It's better to keep the flow all the way, because at the same time, keeping the same sort of inputs make it easier to sometimes find the rotation. Of course, if you go on off, the weight of the car the weight transfer will won't be consistent, and of course you will maybe upset a bit the balance of the car. So it's better to keep it smooth, so then you have much more feeling with the car. The balance will stay much more consistent, and the different transfer you will make will be much more smooth. So yeah, as you can see, then just trying to not be to the very inside, but I just try to keep a bit of a margin, so I'm almost in the I almost have this dark line right in the middle of the car. And as you can see, just lifting the throttle, just going a tiny bit on the brake until I'm getting close of the exit road on the right side. So as you can see, I'm almost fully on the inside. I'm not riding the curb, but I'm still really close of the inside. So just a tiny bit of brake on the entry, fourth gear, and then when I'm getting close of the exit road, just dealing with the power. And then when I'm feeling that I won't go too wide, I mean, there is not so many. There is not a proper way to make this corner. Of course, it really depends of your corner of the speed entry, of course. So if you have more speed entry, you might need to wait a little bit longer to go on throttle. So it really depends, but the main target is to make sure that when you are starting to see, I mean, it's tough because with the triple screen it's better, but if I'm looking at the right, I can see like the track, and I can see the exit. So of course, if I see that I'm going wide and I won't make it properly on the exit, of course I will wait a bit to go on throttle. And yeah, of course, if I'm seeing that I will make it easily, I will go just fully on power. So there is not a proper way to make it, but yeah, if you feel that you are on the right line, of course, just go fully on power. And of course, if you are saying that you are going a bit wider and you basically are starting to get some understeer, then it means that you have to just release the power and not go fully on power straight away. So yeah, so as you can see, on power, just going fully on power when I'm basically going in the second half of the corner, maybe um the third part of this corner. Actually, I'm just waiting quite some time before going fully on power. And as you can see, just getting the curb. Main target is to not end up close to the guide rail on the left side, and then just going back on track. This will make you lose some time. Then after this one, just need to quickly move to the right side. And as you can see, there is like a sort of I don't know what this is, but this is a bit of tarmac which is on the grass, and that's what I'm basically using as a braking reference. Of course, maybe you have seen that I'm braking very early. I told to you about this tarmac on the grass, but at the same time I'm braking very early. But this is like a sort of reference. Of course, you don't have many reference, like as you can see on the left and the right, you don't have any bars or any stuff actually to help you to brake. So that's why I'm using this, because even if it's quite far from where I'm braking, okay, I'm still looking at this, and when I'm driving, I say, okay, I see that there is this thing. I know that I need to brake maybe 5-6 meters before that. So okay, I know that I need to brake at that time, 6 meters away from the curb, just going on the brake, and then I just release the brake, put the car into the corner, just find the rotation. So yeah, it's far away from the braking zone, but at the same time, it still gives you a reference. You know that you have to brake 5, 6, 7 meters before that. So even if it's not at on the very right side when I'm braking now, it's still maybe, like I said, 5, 6, 7 meters away from me. But I know that I have the 5, 6, 7 meters away. I have the 5, 6, 7 meters from this thing. I know that I need to brake. So as you can see, I have the 6-7 meters from this tarmac, just going on the brake, quite heavy at the beginning. Even if I don't go too deep on the brakes, still 55% or something. Then I will drop to third, just still on the brakes, releasing the brake to find the rotation. Mid corner, just going on the brake, trying to find the momentum. The fact that it goes on hill also brings the weight to the front, so it's easier to get the grip. And then as you can see on the exit, fully on power still, getting out of the curbing. And that's what I said before. As you can see, now with the 3D curbs, when you are basically getting the edge of the curb, as you can see, just going back on the track, and as you can see, it's pretty high. Like, it makes a big edge, I would say, on the right side, and when you are back on the track, it makes a big bounce. So that's why I told you that now it's a bit more difficult sometimes around this track, because now the curbs aren't flat anymore. So yeah. So once again, mid corner, on power, trying to find the rotation, try to stay as close as I can. Then when I see that I'm good to go full power and I won't go off the track on the exit, just going full power. And then we move to this next right-hander, just many corners pretty similar around this track, so the approach remains almost the same all of the time, or at least the way you have to approach the corner. So then carries on the left, 200 baud on the left, and when I'm getting past the 200, when it disappears, basically from my main screen, I would say. If you have only one screen, it's the same anyway. As soon as the 200 goes to the left side, and you can't see it anymore, just go on the brake. So as you can see, I will jump to third here, I guess. Maybe it's the one which gives me the best torque on the exit. So as you can see, deep on the brake, trying to slow down as much as I can the car when the car is fully straight. And then when I'm getting past the 100 board, I just send the car into the corner, dropping to third, just trying to make sure I can stay a little bit wider on the entry, so then I can really do a sort of switchback, so then I can really get the best momentum possible on the exit. So as you can see, then just trying to get a bit closer to the curb on the exit, but not that much. So as you can see, a bit wider, still on the brake, trying to slow down the car, and at the same time trying to find the rotation. But then early on power, because of course, as you can see, it's quite steep uphill, so need to find early the momentum, otherwise you will be too slow, of course. And then, as you can see, just trying to open the steering. It's pretty easy to open the steering on the exit of this one, because on the exit as well, you have this sort of runoff. I don't know if it's really runoff, but this actually helps you to open the steering and at the same time lose the less momentum possible. So yeah, once again, mid corner, just going on power, trying to find the rotation on power, and then as you can see, full throttle, opening the steering, and then use all of the track on the exit. And then we are entering, I guess, the last third of the track. So for this one, just looking at the 200 board on the left, even if you cannot see the 200, but you can imagine that it's the 200 because there is the 100 there and the 300 that you cannot really see. But yeah, there is only three boards, so you can guess that it's the 300, 200, and 100. So getting close of the 200, just going deep on the brake, just trying to slow down as much as I can the car when the car is straight. So as you can see, I'm not braking so deep now. I don't know why, but I think since the update, I'm braking a bit less stronger for some reason. I don't know why, but seems like it works nice and easy. So yeah, I think before I would have reached like maybe 80, 85, 90%, but now I'm just braking a bit less. So maybe maybe it's easier to brake now, or maybe it's the tires, the feeling of with the car, which makes me braking earlier, with the idea of maybe saving the tires or being more gentle with the tires, even if I don't think the update has made a big change, but yeah. So getting past the 200, EV on the brake, and then as you can see, when you have this sort of runoff coming back, then I just steer to the inside. I will jump to third. I don't think I jump to second because second will be too low. But yeah, as you can see on the brake, releasing the brake. When I'm on the apex going EV on power, as you can see, it's quite wide. It's really wide on the exit. You have this big runoff. So even if you are going too early on power, I think it's still fine. You will go wider. Of course, you're gonna lose a bit of time, I think, because you will longer the distance. But yeah, as you can see, when I'm facing the exit fully on power, steering is open completely now. As you can see, I'm not going so wide because I still have the two right wheels on the yellow line, between the yellow line and the curb. So yeah, pretty easy corner, to be honest. Just make sure you're not braking, of course, too late for this one, because then you can lose quite some time if you are braking too late. Main target is to really make sure you can make the apex, so as close as you can from the yellow line. I almost ride the yellow line. Maybe I I've been on the edge of the yellow line, but still, just make sure you're not braking too late. Otherwise, of course, you will gain time on the entry, but at the end you will lose time on the exit. So yeah, then you move to the right side, getting close of the end of the track. So I bring the car to the right side, and then as you can see, when you can see that the line goes to the right side, a little bit. So that's what pretty much I'm using as a reference to just release the throttle and go on the brake. So from that point, the track will go just wider because you have the cup layout which comes on the right side. So I guess that's the reason of this. But yeah, as you can see, that's pretty much what I'm looking at on the entry, this white line. And then as you can see, when I'm getting close of it, just going on the brake, just releasing the throttle. And then from now, just not going so deep on the brake because I, of course, need to find the rotation early on the brake. So if I just go heavily on the brake, then I will lose all of the rotation I can have. So not ideal. So as you can see, just going on the brake, I will drop to third for this one. So early on, dropping to third, still on the brake, not putting that much pressure. Just what I need to slow down the car and at the same time find the rotation. And then as you can see, when I'm in the middle of the corner, that's the time to find the momentum. Still with third gear, just going quite aggressively on power, even if I just wait to see a bit better the exit. So I'm just waiting to really face the exit so then I can go fully on power. Steering is open, just trying to aim for the curb on the exit, getting the curb, and then we go for the last two corners of the track. So easy ones, just going to the right side, just waiting the 100 board on the right side. And as you can see, of course, I need to turn in a bit earlier. So if there was a 150, I think it would have been the board where I would turn to the left. So as you can see, imagine the 150, turn to the left, and then when I'm getting past, when I'm really next to the 100 with the car, just releasing the throttle, a bit of braking to find the rotation, but as you can see, it maybe last like 1 second on the brakes. Just need to, it's not really about slowing down the car, it's mostly about getting the rotation. And as you can see, just a bit of braking, getting close of the curb, back on power. I'm not really getting the curb. I'm getting the very edge of the curb with the left wheels, but I'm not getting much more than that. Then as you can see, full power, fourth gear. I'm still with fourth, or no, I kept fourth. I thought I went with third. So fourth gear, just getting all of the curbing on the right side. So as you can see, left wheels still on the curb or not? I don't think so actually. Yeah, left wheels are off the curb, but yeah, it's not enough track. I think you have to go way wider than that to get the off track. Don't go too wide because of course to enter the last corner you're gonna have to be on the very left. So if you are too very wide on the exit of this one, then as you can imagine, it's gonna be tough to go back to the left and then do everything smoothly. It's gonna be difficult. So the main target is to not go too wide. So like this, I think it's pretty good. Then just steer to the left to prepare the next corner. As you can see, need to brake earlier, so I'm not even to the very left that I'm already braking. So I guess when you are getting past this line, you can go on the brake. But anyway, I think you could basically, as a braking reference, if you were to the very left, because of course I cannot brake with a big pressure because I need to steer at the same time. So if I'm putting a lot of brake pressure, I will basically lose the rotation and get it to the ABS and stuff. But if the car was straight, I think you could brake at the end of the tire wall on the left. But yeah. So basically, you're crossing from right to left the track. So when you're in the middle, going on the brake, bring the car to the left, then keep a low amount of pressure. There is no need to brake a lot, except at the beginning, where you have to brake a bit more because it's a bit less important to find the rotation. Of course, you need to find some because you need to steer the car to the right, but it's really when you are reaching this point when you really have to find the rotation. So it's really at that point where you really have to release the brake. So once again, going a bit deeper on the brake, releasing the brake, and then from now, just keep releasing the brake. And then when I'm really getting into the corner, not the apex, but getting into the corner. So as you can see, apex, I guess, would be around there. As you can see, I'm already using 91%. So it's really when you are crossing, I guess, the pit entry line that you have to really go on power. As you can see, crossing the white line, the yellow line, going fully on power. And then from now, just try to make sure you are not getting over the limit. Just trying to make sure you can use all of the track, but without hitting the wall. And yeah, I guess that was I guess it was fourth gear corner. Yeah, fourth gear. So you don't really need to change the gears. So it makes something less to manage. And yeah, I guess getting out of the last corner, we're done for the lap around Watkins Glen with the Porsche. Alright guys, we're done for today. That was the week 2 lap guide of the Falcon Tire Sports Car Challenge. We were with the Porsche 709 GT4 on Watkins Glen International. I hope you learned from this lap guide, of course, and you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and join the Coach Dave Academy Discord server if you have any questions about all the work we are making. And I see you next week for the third week of this series. See you next time. Bye bye.